Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Bob's channel. Truly appreciate you guys stopping on by to check out some more news I just kind of want to discuss about. First of all, I want to do a huge apology. I always forget to thank my subscribers and for those that comment on videos and have a little bit of dialogue. So thank you. My subscriber count's up to 74, and that's really all thanks to you guys who open up the videos, watch, and kind of keep up to what I post. So thank you guys again so much for continuing to follow me and to watch the videos and to interact. I truly appreciate it. That's what I want to do. I want to have a conversation as much as possible. So if you have any thoughts that you have on a video, whether you agree or disagree, if you want to put it in the comment section, I always do my best to try to respond as quickly as possible. So thanks again, you guys, for doing that. I truly appreciate it. And today's topic, I'm going to discuss what the issue is with the negative narrative and why I think that people are missing a huge step and a huge factor in why Stadia is going to be great, and that is what we are seeing from the developer side. Okay, Stadia continues to accrue more and more developers onto their list. Why is that? And answering that question is, in my opinion, why Stadia is going to be a success and why Stadia is successful. Because we can have the viewpoint of they have a lack of game library, which to me is basically the oldest excuse in the book due to the fact that a new platform isn't going to have a whole lot of games. Stadia is porting over a lot of games from when they started. They've only been around for 9 months or so, 9 to 10 I think. So the fact that they've already got how many games they do is actually very impressive, historically speaking, compared to other platforms. But the real impressive thing is the fact that they continue to get more and more developers to commit to the platform and more developers to port over those games. And the whole issue with getting developers and gamers is it's a catch-22. So a developer doesn't want to port over a game unless there's a large player base. However, players won't join a platform unless there are a wide variety of games. So you got to have both. So Stadia has to do something, all right? Google has to do something. They have to offer something to those developers that is going to entice them that, hey, we might not have the player base right now, but you're going to want to develop with us for X, Y, Z. So I'm going to point out 2 articles that I've read and that I've come across and about developers' experience with Stadia and why they chose to develop on Stadia, and hopefully that will help shed light on why I think Stadia really is going to be successful in the future, and that is because they have certain features and aspects of their cloud gaming platform that other systems don't, that will therefore, again, continue to entice more developers, which means more games will come to the platform, which will then in turn lead to more gamers, more players, and from there it's just going to continue to expand, and the catch-22 will hopefully be moot and removed. So the first article I want to go over is an article where they had an interview with Larian Studios, and Larian Studios really recently released the Baldur's Gate 3 early access information, which is going to be launching September 30th on platforms. I believe, is it just PC and Stadia? I do know it's coming to Stadia on September 30th. So what they had to say, Stadia has an article where they asked them a question. And that question they asked was, what about Stadia makes you excited to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to players? And for Larian Studios, they said, for me, it's how low the barrier to entry is thanks to Stadia. One thing I've noticed in the many years of seeing people play our RPGs, role-playing games, for the first time is how easily the game clicks with them once they start playing. Some players don't own a powerful PC or the latest console, but we know from experience that new players just need to jump in to experience the world we've created and explore on their own to get hooked. With Stadia, getting up and running in Baldur's Gate 3 and exploring for yourself is a lot more accessible. So with this one, they're basically saying, yeah, you don't need to have that high-end PC or those next-gen consoles to be able to run Baldur's Gate 3. You can run it from any computer you have, and that kind of a lower end entry for high-end games is really an incredible feature of Stadia. I also am just mind blown by the fact that you can play your games on a TV, a PC, or a mobile device. I don't think any other platform has the capabilities of having every single game on their platform available to be played on mobile if you wanted. You can't play every Xbox game on your phone. They only have select games you can play via xCloud on your phone, and that's going to be 100 when they launch. Stadia, every single one of Stadia's games is always PC accessible, is always accessible on your TV through your Chromecast, and is always accessible on your supported mobile devices. So that's also a cool feature, is you don't even need a PC to play Baldur's Gate 3 when it launches. You could have a phone, a Stadia supported phone, which is quite a few at this point, and you can play Baldur's Gate 3, a high-end game, on your mobile device. So that was Larian Studios, again, a very big company. The Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the top games coming in 2020. And so it's going to be up there. So seeing the developers say that the low barrier to entry is one of their reasons why they brought it to Stadia, because they wanted more players to just get a chance to play it, is a really cool thing. The next one is a Bungie article, and I actually referenced this article in a previous video where I believe I talked about how Stadia is going to be the cloud gaming platform by 2022. I'll link that up above if you want to check that article out. A lot of it had to do with good infrastructure, but it also referenced this article. And this article is by Bungie. They developed Destiny 2. They were basically one of the flagship games on Stadia. And I remember when they launched, there were some technicalities, there were some bugs and some lag, and that got ironed out pretty darn quick. But Bungie develops Destiny 2, and they're going to continue to support Destiny 2 for a while. And they're not just going to launch Destiny 3 anytime soon. And they had some things to say about playtesting. And playtesting is when a developer, whether they adjust the code, they fix some things, and they just want to test it out to see if it's going to work. They want to test it out to see how perhaps skins and certain aspects of the game work. And historically speaking, this is a very time-consuming process, because if you change the code, you then have to re-download the patch or the game onto different devices. Whether you want to play test with 50 people, you have to go download that new patch, that new setup into those 50 PCs, those 50 Xboxes, PlayStations, you name it. So then at 10 o'clock, when all 50 players are going to come and play and kind of test it out, everything's ready. And here in their article they say, whereas a traditional test session is preceded by a relatively lengthy process of propping a build onto multiple consoles or PCs in the testing lab and working through any technical snafus that may crop up, testing on Stadia was a relative breeze. And then they have a quote from Fox. On Stadia, we publish a build in a way that all of the instances we use automatically get the build distributed to them at the same time, said Fox. We're able to very easily get a pool of up to 300 instances or so with the game ready to play at a click of a button, which is fantastic. You can't do that any other way when we're running a big studio playtest like that. All right, that is saying you cannot do that any other way. If they are releasing a massive patch where they want 300 players in there pushing that patch, trying to find any bugs, trying to find any issues, they can do it at the click of a button. And that, you guys, that is, in my opinion, what would bring any developer over to Stadia. Okay, being able to build your game, all right, to test it at the snap of your fingers, at the click of a button, with however many people you want to. All right, that is so cool. And especially right now with COVID-19 hit, a lot of people are working remote. I think all Bungie is working remote. Being able to work with your team in the cloud, not having to take massive dev kits to your house, expensive equipment to each developer's house. They can all just use their computer, all right, at home, use the cloud to develop the game, and then push out those updates, all right? Push out the playtest builds at the click of a button and be like, hey, let's get our group of 25 people together at 10 a.m. and then at 9:59 they just hit, publish the build, and then they can click a button and they can test it. Like that to me would be a huge advantage and a huge draw to developers. And I think that that is a huge thing as to why more developers are coming to Stadia and launching with them. So let me know what you guys think. All right, I think looking at the developer standpoint, okay, they are the ones that will create the games for Stadia. They are the ones that will bring the games, that will bring more players to Stadia. So we need to look at what is bringing all of these new developers to the platform, and that to me is why I think it is going to be a successful platform. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you like the video, you want to hit the like button, that'd be awesome. Subscribe so you can be notified when I go live or post more videos. That would be awesome as well. Thanks again, you guys, so much for supporting. 74 subscribers. My mind is blown. All right. Thank you guys again so much for everything that you do and for commenting and dialoguing. That is truly appreciated. So until next time, you guys, this has been Blue Bob's the Gaming CPA. Maximize those deductions and pay less in taxes. Thanks.